Yeah, my game decided to crash, and unfortunately PlayStation is stupid. So if you don't have a game open, your stream automatically ends. So, which is super fun because if you ever need to restart your game because of a bug, you can't, because then you lose all the stream momentum. I mean, I just started, so it's not really a big setback, but it's just annoying because sometimes it does happen when I'm well into a stream and peaking. So that's annoying. Hopefully that guy's still here. Accepted his PlayStation friend request, so he should be able to see that I'm still on. Okay, let's see. Lock Peak. That's a funny name. Okay, PlayStation friends. Oh, that's him. Just says online, not in Ramsgate, though. That's not a good sign. I'll start up the queue. Does he get the invite from that if he's not in game? Okay, does he's come online? Okay, I'm gonna cancel queue and wait for him then. Let's see if I can add him from PlayStation. That might work. Oh yeah, he's loading into the game now. Okay.
Done better myself. No. You've got some steel, don't you?
Alright. Should I do Tempest for this? I think I will. Let's get this over with quicker. Don't know. I probably shouldn't do Fire. Yeah, let's be safe. Let's do Molten. Okay. I'll do Tempest just for the trial carry, and then I'll go back to Axe. No, Golden Claws is terrible. Silver Sword is potentially the best weapon in the game. Sometimes, like, specifically on Gnasher Trial, Silver Sword is better than everything. Like, the Silver Sword best time before Impulse was 52, and the current best time with Impulse, like, for non-Tempest, is still 52. It's Pike though, but
I can feel trouble on the rising wind.
But yeah, Silver Sword is extremely good. Like, I'd say like overall, it's probably the third best sword in the game, but it's capable of being the best in the right situation. Whereas Golden Claws are terrible. They wouldn't even be like the top 20 strikers. They're the worst Radiant too. I'm not sure if this guy knows he's party leader. It's only been 2 minutes. Maybe he's making build. Why can't I whisper him? That's strange. I'll message him on PlayStation. Maybe he's not looking in chat. But I've chosen correct. Whatchamacallit, like... Man, the main thing that made me not do Golden Claws, honestly, was, not another crash. No, that just happens when I'm, like, opening PlayStation stuff. I don't know why it doesn't just show the game. I don't know why it just, like, makes the screen go blue. But anyway, reforges are the main reason I didn't do Golden Claws. I wanted all of my weapons to be bronze, except axe, or except hammer, and then later axe. So I was really mad that the Silver Sword quest makes you reforge. I think that's dumb. Why can't it just be like grind? But it makes you reforge. And I was thinking like, I mean, if it's gonna force me to make my sword silver to do the Silver Sword quest, I guess that doesn't look that stupid, right? But then for Striker's Golden Claws, I have to reforge Striker's 7 times. Semi-fun. Yeah, this trial is super consistent. The Tempest strat has room for improvement too, so there's actually stuff to do. And no one really grinded Impulse well last time. Like, I don't think a single weapon got faster with Impulse, like non-Tempest last Gnasher. So that there's actually a lot to do this week. I'm most excited for Axe. Axe always has the most room for improvement with Impulse for some reason. It's consistently benefited from it more than Pike. No. You could get under a minute with with Earth, but not Twin Suns. Twin Suns are just atrocious, man. Last Gnasher, I baited cosplay into playing. So Gnasher was the second week of Impulse, right? So we didn't really have a good idea of how. I'm just gonna mute this. I'm not gonna use voice chat. God Hand. No, I would just use normal God Hand. God Hand's not that bad. Twin Suns is literally like one of the only bad weapons in the entire game. Like I've spent a lot of time like actually grinding Impulse grinding God Hand before. The only lame thing is whatchamacallit. God Hand kind of gets worse with Impulse, honestly. 50. See ya. Okay. Peace. Oh my. Is Hunger good? No. Just Molten Edict is good. Pretty much all the other exotics are very niche. Or like, Tragic Echo, so Molten Edict is always good. Tragic Echo is sometimes good. Skullforge is sometimes okay. And then every other exotic is genuinely bad. I mean, you know, if you have fun with them, play them, right? But yeah, they are, like, if you're wondering if it's worth it to grind them, it's really not. I mean, some of them are fun, like, Twin Suns is very unique. So, I would say, you know, Twin Suns is worth it, actually. But the Hunger is not really different from Sword, so I don't think Hunger is fun. But I think Twin Suns is bad and fun. Hunger is, like, okay and not fun. That's my opinion on it anyway. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. It's not close enough to have an opinion. Like, even the developers know it's bad. Or bad is a strong word. Really, only Twin Suns is bad. Like, Hunger is okay. Hunger is not terrible. But it's just there's no reason to use it. Like, it's not, I don't think it's interesting. And if it's not interesting and it's not good, then I don't know, I wouldn't bother. Yeah, I gotta be careful here because I could die. Damn, that's a shame. If I did that a little bit earlier, I could have saved him. I'm gonna play it out because I think it's probably 1 health, and then we'll restart. Okay. Okay, I guess it wasn't low. I was wrong. There we go. Retry. Bottom right. I mean, you survived 2 minutes though. That's not bad. If I played better, he would not have died. So, I'm not gonna fault him for that. My mistake. Yeah. Man. It's really weird how many people don't know Trials has a retry button. Like, it's... I don't know. There's better things to be annoyed about. So on to the other exotics, because the other ones I think are pretty interesting. So God Hand. I think God Hand is very okay. Like, it's not good, and some Warpike's great. God Hand's okay, and yeah. Well, we're all retry enjoyers here, I'm sure. I didn't actually see if he was new or not. So I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. Okay. There is a button in the bottom right to retry. Okay. Right, what was I saying? Right, God Hand. God Hand, I think, is actually underrated. Like, people definitely think it's worse than it is. Like, I don't think there's really a use case for God Hand, but it's not bad at all. And some people think it's bad. Whatchamacallit? And God Hand I actually think is really fun to use. I like playing God Hand a lot. Prismatic Grace is like, I mean, it's my transmog for like 5 years. Of course I'm biased. I also... no. If you're willing to use Galvanized Pike builds, you should. Like, Galvanized is extremely broken. Like, the only time you should not use Galvanized is if you're bored of it and you want to try something interesting. Pretty much. I mean, the other thing is, of course, Malkarion weapons are also really good. And if you're using Malkarion, you gotta use Savit. And if you have Pulse, you don't want to use Galvanized. So sometimes you won't use Galvanized, but yes, Galvanized is really good. Hi Samu, how you doing? Hi Vargas, how you doing too? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Good, but not optimal. I think I jumped too late there. Might not be able to get boop here. Nope, we're all good. Man, I keep forgetting I have to, like, explain things to people. I'm not gonna get them to AFK. Like, slow hurts me and booping hurts me. The best thing about Gnasher is that... Oh my, I didn't get dodge stack off of that. That's crazy. Okay. There we go. I didn't get dodge stack off of that either. That's awesome. Did he wound something? I don't think that was me, was it? Yeah, he did. Okay. Awesome. He actually wounded for me. That was actually really helpful. Because my tactician just ran out. There we go. Nice. Oh, yeah, I messed up pulse there. Terrible land breaker value. Sad. Oh, I wanted to re-aim the slams. Shit. Okay, thank God Gnasher stopped there, because I might have died otherwise. Because I tried healing. Man, regenerating stamina so fast. I'm struggling to keep up invigorated. Awesome, 800 damage. So cool. Okay. And it should die here. I should be able to completely stagger lock it. I think I need to re-land breaker. Even if it's the little land breaker, you still get the big movement speed buff, even if it's not charged. So that's all good. Alright, now we go back to playing Axe. Enjoying the game. Thanks for getting my name right. Happy to do so. I think I actually know, like, I think I've met like a different person with that last name before. I've definitely seen it a couple times, so I've had practice. That wasn't a first try. GG. Yeah. Glad to hear you're doing fine, Samu. Oh. One moment. Okay. Insane, GG. Thanks, Corey. Nice to see you again. How are you doing? Huh. Yikes. Yeah, I got no clue. There's a big black square. Yeah, that happens when you like pull up stuff on PlayStation.
You've got a Corsair spirit.
Like
sire.
anytime there's like a Sony related thing that pops up.
Winds a-blowing.
I'm confused. Is it not pronounced Iker? But always see EK. Huh. Is that like... Is that like another common name where you're from that your name gets confused with? Hope all is well. Glad to hear you're doing good. Everything's well over here. There we go. Ah. Oh, sorry to hear it gets confused. Oh man, I completely missed that wind up. I thought he was doing the small tail swipe. I'm gonna reset this one. If you don't get interrupt at the start, the run's kinda bad, but then I also got like, why are you throwing your axe? Oh, there's an axe mod. I'll show you. This is why I'm throwing my axe. Rail Splitter's Canteen. So, if you use potions while your axe is thrown, and you're not holding it, they get a big boost. So, I believe they go from 27% to 35% for the attack speed and the damage one. So that's a pretty good boost. And then the lantern one goes from, I think, 185 to 235% charge. So it's a pretty good boost. It's the best axe mod for Trials, but you would really only use it in Trials. As for Heroic Eska, um, yeah, I would probably use this build for Heroic Eska. I would probably use Bastion though instead. Um, Especially if you're in an escalation where you can turn on the Terra escalation amp unlocks, because then you can get Shrapnel as a common amp, and Shrapnel just makes Bastion so much stronger. Yeah, I would use the same build, but just with Bastion. I would also swap the mod to the level 4 one for Heroic Eska. Oh. Tempest is pretty insane in Heska too. I might use Tempest there. But yes, this is for non-Tempest. I would use this same build for Heska. Conservation, like, in Trials, it's just nice for the crit, but the defense of it is really underrated. Like, soccer name? That's cool. You into that at all? Or just like, did you get like named after like a soccer player? Your parents big soccer fans? But anyway, conservation, it's, I think it's the fastest shield regen source in the game because its cooldown is only, I think, 2 seconds or 1 second, which is crazy. Because you generate, like, even with just Invigorated 3, you generate, what's that, like 240 shield per use. 240 shield every 2 seconds is really good. Like, you could, every single time you got hit, you could do that. So you could almost think of it like taking 240 less damage from every hit, but assuming you get hit like, you know, less than every, okay, let's see if I can do this. Nope, wow. There we go, okay. That is really hard for me to learn, man. I'm really struggling with the axe boots. The frost is gonna run out before stagger, that sucks. Yeah, that's a shame. I think I missed the first rev, that's really bad. I might actually break head here. Nope. Oh, this is really good. I only got 2 stomps. You can get up to 5, and it's not exactly in your control, so. Wow, I got 2 both times? That is really lucky. This is really fucking unlucky, though. I'm pretty mad about that, actually. I have like 0 opportunities to charge my axe here. And now my potions run out when I'm doing the biggest hit I have. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed about that. I don't think it's gonna die. Oh. I guess I jinxed it. Did you play? I think I only played Rise. And not for long either, like only a couple hours. It was fun, but I mean, yeah, not so GG. Man, that run was, I forget what actually happened there, what went wrong. I think what happened is I took too long on the boop. I had to dodge like 3 times before booping. Doing the interrupt on axe is just so difficult without your throw. And the thing is, I don't want to use, I don't want to use throw ever if it's not charged, because you want to use it when it's charged as often as possible. Playing lots of Monster now, and it's addicting. I've seen some gameplay of that from Revy's channel. It actually does look quite fun. Not terrific though, so can't even come close. But it does look good. The company that makes it, Niantic, I've been a fan of them for a long time, even before Pokemon Go. There was this game they had called Ingress that I used to play a lot. 1,800 hours in Monster Hunter World? Nice. does look quite fantastic. I think I talked about it earlier, maybe when you were here. Not sure who asked me about Monster Hunter last. But I noticed a lot of people were like going back to Monster Hunter World recently, despite there being a newer game in the franchise. Which is a pretty rare thing to see for sure. Definitely speaks levels about how good the game is. There's that much depth. Wow, that hit nothing. Yeah, I'm not getting a stagger here. This is horrific. You gotta be shitting me. Right as I was throwing the axe. I don't think I'm gonna learn that hitbox. Yeah, I'm gonna reset this. If I had boop there and I somehow managed to hit it, the run could be saved, but I got the bad attack and I also messed up before, so I'm just gonna reset. Wait, that oh, that's nice. You play it much, or are you just big fans of the professional scene, or what? Yeah, you gotta run a lot in soccer. It's tough to play if you're not fit. I'm not really in either. The only like sports I actually got into was like probably badminton and volleyball, and you have to like, I want to say those are probably the ones where you like run the least. Just generally probably requires like the least, I don't know, finesse. But no. Oh. Oh. What do you do for 1800 hours in Monster Hunter? Like, I know there's people with that many hours in Dauntless that don't really do anything, and this game has even less content, so it's a weird question to ask, but like, to me, I've spent such a massive portion of my time playing this game on speedrunning. That's like the only thing I can imagine people doing when they like have that much experience. But I know a lot of people don't, so I'm like genuinely curious. Rather watch than play soccer. Yeah, I feel like that about a lot of things. Okay, this better crit. Perfect. I believed in the coin flip, and I got rewarded for it. Man, it shows I didn't actually pick up my axe. Oh, not gonna have any good charge here. Yeah, this sucks because every time I'm like, Gnasher actually stops stomping, I'm just not ready for him. I really needed that to crit. For that throw. There we go, okay, at least it was low. Wow, both parts were low. And stagger was low. It's a shame my potions run out here. This is the only thing that's, you know, there's a lot of things to talk about axe, but like, something that just hurts more than it should is the potions. When you run out of potions, it's so noticeable. And like, Axe's mod is kind of a double-edged sword because it makes your potions stronger, but it also kind of makes them last a little bit shorter because you have to spend so much extra time on the platform that like because of like the throw that you kind of get to the arena later, I guess. You want to stay on the platform always for the first 2 Scarlet Lanterns. Stack up that 600 massive shield. Or it's 1350 with cons and wolf. Alright, good night. Rest well, Abu. See you later. But yeah, so basically like Axe not only takes the longest time to kill in Trials, so like it would make the best use out of longer potion duration, but like it also gets a bit less because of that. So it's really annoying. It's like other weapons have to re-potion less often than Axe, and all of them need it less. Axe is so fun though, so I stomach all of the horrific issues with it. I can jump a bit earlier too. It's not that bad. I think I need to stop frost ulting so early because you can see there a lot of the wolf seems to not really be touching Gnasher. That was a terrible Revenant, and that should not have hit white damage. I can't believe that didn't hit me, that's a miracle. But yeah, my Revenant is terribly, so I only have 9 stacks. You can get up to 13 on this trial. I'm actually gonna health pot up here, because I just happen to not be in a combo at the time of my Revenant, so. I don't know if that's really good or really bad, but that happens. Shit, I missed the highest damage attack in the combo. I kinda wanna go for Boopy, I shouldn't though. You gotta be shitting me. If I wait, like, I knew I was taking a risk there because the axe was just coming up, but I don't know, I'm kinda still mad about that. I feel like that should have counted. I don't think I missed either. I think I was just like a millisecond late. More than a millisecond, but you know, less than a second. So I felt like it was close enough for me to complain. Gnasher's boob feels so terrible without frost proc though. Like in Enrage, he's so fast. Like actually hitting that correctly is such a challenge, and then it barely gives you enough time to do one combo on X. Quite depressing. It feels like I'm just better off dodging 10 slams, which is really stupid. Cause it's like with the slams, after they stop, you have like I feel like you have like almost as much time as the boop in between the next attack. Like after he finishes slams, he usually stops for like a solid like I don't know, I want to say 3 almost 4 full seconds without frost proc. And if you get lucky and he only does 2 slams, then it's like it takes less time to wait for that damage opening to open up than the interrupt actually does, and you do get to weave a little bit of damage in between, because you can do like 1 uncharged attack in between each slam, whereas when you're preparing the interrupt you don't have as much time. That was a really bad Revenant. I should not have delayed my axe this much either. Yeah, this is... Tharon was so fucking bad. Okay, I'm disappointed in myself. I should not have played that out either. I also only had 8 Revenants. What am I doing? I only had 8 Revenant stacks, which means I missed 4 hits. Maybe 5, because there's a bug where the first hit of Revenant can, you can get a second stack off of it or something, or maybe it's not the first one, but it happens very often on this trial. I'm pretty sure it's due to, the cosplay told me it's due to Urska Wall. Apparently you can hit a Revenant on Urska Wall, and it can give you an extra orb stack. I don't know though, because it's very clearly more consistent on some behemoths than other. Like it happens quite common on Gnasher, and the one it happens by far the most common on is actually Scrave, which is a trial where of course we don't have Urska Wall because it's a frost behemoth, so we don't want to use frost wall, right? And Scrave, you can get a lot more than 1 extra orb. You can actually get 3 extra orbs from both Revenants, which makes no sense. I originally thought the reason for it was that you had to make Scrave after the interrupt land on its own ice spikes, and then you got the extra Revenant stacks from the ice spikes, which might be it because you do get stacks from the ice spikes. That's probably what it is. But I felt like it also happened after they expired. I'm not really sure. So it's really hard to say how it's really old too. Like the first time I saw it must have been like, I actually think it was close to 2 years ago now, so it's pretty insane that no one really actually knows how it works. How do you defeat the behemoth so easily? Lots of practice. The most important thing though is where you stand. I can explain during this run. I'll narrate, but like the angle you are from the behemoth and the distance determines what move the behemoth does next. And some moves give you lots of time to attack the behemoth, and some moves gives you no time to attack the behemoth. Like I'll show you here. So I'm gonna like try and walk right up to Gnasher's nose. That's how you bait the interrupt. This attack is really good. Now after this, watch, I'm gonna aim, I'm gonna try and be to the right side of Gnasher's face. And when I go to the right side of Gnasher's face, he's gonna wiggle his tail like this. This attack, you see this attack, it doesn't come close to hitting me. I'm completely safe. And then he does the backup here. This is really good. Please crit. I missed. Okay, this is really bad. Bad example. Okay, so pretend I didn't do that, but the first part was important. This attack sucks too. This attack happens if you're like slightly in front of Gnasher. Okay, I'm just gonna reset this run and explain to you again, but basically the important thing is after the interrupt, you want to be on the right side of Gnasher's face, because then it'll do that little tail wiggle, which gives you a lot of time to attack the behemoth while you're not in danger. And after the tail wiggle, you want to go to the left side of Gnasher's face. And if you do that, Gnasher will back up. I'll show you when it happens. You'll see. It gives you enough time to do like another full combo. And then after Gnasher backs up, he'll usually wiggle his nose in the air for a bit and give you more time to attack. And then he'll actually be able to do a second interrupt if you go slightly in front of his face after that. Gnasher's a very consistent behemoth to manipulate. I happened to make a mistake there. Let's pretend that was an outlier. I'll try to show you a better example this run. But basically, yeah, it's specific positioning. Like you have to take note of which part of the behemoth you're standing close to, how close to it you're standing, and the angle. Or that's kind of the same thing as where you are on the behemoth, but and the other thing is attacks have a specific cooldown. Well, most of them do. Like usually an attack, usually it won't be able to do the exact same attack for another like let's say the average is maybe 15 or 20 seconds. For the good attacks anyway. There's lots of bad attacks that the behemoth can do like 3 times in a row, but the good attacks, you have to wait before you can repeat them. Like, the most notable example is of course the interrupts. Should I use Fenrir weapons? No. Fenrir weapons are Well, they're not bad, but Karabac is just way better. And Fenrors are really hard to use. I would never use anything other than Karabac weapons for Terra. Like, even Koshai weapons for like Tempest, like sometimes it's so bad we don't even actually use the effect. Even in like competitive trials. Okay, so after Gnasher gets up from the interrupt, I'm gonna be to the right of his head like this. Up, okay. Watch this. Nope, okay, I'm resetting. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. If you rewind like maybe 20 minutes, you'll probably see like every other time I do it. I just happened to mess up like twice in a row when you joined because I got nervous. Let's say that. This is the attack I'm talking about. Alright, see ya, Just Jay. Thanks for tuning in. But basically, yeah, I think I kind of said all there is to say. I just have to actually get a good example to show you. As you can see, it's not exactly completely easy, but knowing it does make it a lot easier, knowing what to do. Even if you can't do it every time, the times you do it, it's very worth it. Right, and as for other attacks, I'm not sure how many more important attacks Gnasher has, actually. Gnasher really only has 3 useful attacks, and you usually want to loop them. Like you'll see, I'll try to do interrupt, and I'll try to get tail wag, and then I'll try to get back up, and then the nose wiggle, and then another interrupt, and then after that, it'll either stagger, or it'll stagger before that, and then it'll enrage. What time a behemoth enrages depends on like its actual health, so it's not going to be the same every time. Because some Gnashers are, you know, they have less defense than others, so they're going to get to lower health faster. Also depends on your weapon, of course. Well, that's actually not that major of a factor. It's probably the smallest one, honestly. But yeah, hopefully I can get you a good example here. I can stop choking. I mean, build is a factor too, but I don't really bring up build because I just kind of assume everyone knows it. Like, I've been using pretty much the exact same builds, almost completely unchanged for like 5 months. So, if you saw a meta build like 5 months ago, then you could still be using that same one. So, okay. So I'm gonna try and go to the right of the head. Like this. Tail wiggle. Here we go. Now I'm on the left side. He's gonna back up. Like this. This is the attack I'm talking about. He does that nose wiggle in the air. And then he does this interrupt. This is good. There you go. This is exactly what I want. And then he's gonna stagger right here. And then he's gonna enrage when he goes back up. Enrage on Gnasher is difficult. There's not really a lot you can do, to be honest. When he enrages, you kind of just gotta walk away. Because these 4 stomps, like, having to dodge 4 attacks is just not worth it. Like, you might as well just walk away. And he's gonna back up here. He's probably gonna do another tails. Yep. Hopefully I can. I can't believe that didn't stagger. Okay, this should stagger right here. Yep. This is actually a pretty good run, despite me running out of potions. It should die right here, hopefully. Yeah, almost lung 2. Yeah, that run was a pretty good example. I actually feel like I played mostly how I wanted to there. Like, I executed the strategy that I wanted to. I didn't get very lucky, though. The main part of luck in this trial is when Gnasher does those slams with his tail. He can do between 2 and 5 slams, and there's no way for you to really influence which one he does. If he does 2 slams, it's obviously better, and if he does 5 slams, it's obviously a lot worse. It's kind of like an extra let's say like 5 seconds where you kind of just have to wait. Like you dodge the attacks, you can do like one tiny attack in between them, but there's not a lot of damage you can do. And more importantly on axe, when you have to dodge that often, you don't really have time to charge your attack, so you get no meter, which really sucks. Yeah, that's the crash course for Gnasher's behavior anyway. I would say that's most of what you need to know. Ooh, there's one last really important thing. This only really applies to trials though. So on this specific trial, you're gonna see this timer that appears at the bottom middle of my screen. It's gonna say like 29 minutes and a certain amount of seconds, that right there. You wanna always enter these jump pads here when this timer is right after an even number. Like I'm gonna jump 29:42 here. If you do that, Gnasher will be in the same position, like for every even number, which just makes it much easier to do an interrupt. Like if I was to enter the arena at like 29:43, it would be dramatically harder for me to get the interrupt at the start. It actually makes a very massive difference. This is a very strange stagger, but oh wow, I actually missed that. That's really bad. I needed that meter. This is bad too. I'm not hitting any parts here. I'm kind of surprised that hit me. I'm on the wrong side of Gnasher right now. I did a lot of damage to the tail on the other side, but not this one. Man, you see the 2 of my axe throws, I didn't catch them, so I didn't get the big meter bonus from that, which is really bad. There's the backup attack. Now I have no potions, so my attack speed is very low. I don't actually think I can just barely still do one attack in between the slams. Should get stagger here very soon. I probably won't get a part break, but I am going to try. Oh, I did. At the same time. What do you know? Very close though. Getting a second break on Gnasher is kind of difficult. Like, you see there, I got the second part break right before he died, and I did like maybe 1.5 combos on a part that I wasn't gonna break, so there was a little bit of wasted part damage there. Basically, if you do like more than 2 combos on a part that you're not gonna break, like you want to focus all your combos on 2 parts on this trial. And if you're a little bit unfocused, you're not gonna get the second break, which I'm not gonna say makes it like a lot harder, because these runs are pretty slow, but like in a faster run, it would make a big difference. Like the 5-second time save is something, but the animation from it is the important thing, because part breaks give you a mini stagger, and more importantly, the mini staggers can be used to interrupt. Or interrupt is a bad word to say because interrupt is a separate mechanic in this game, but you can use it to cancel an attack that sucks. For example, like let's say Gnasher just started stomps, and let's say he was gonna do 5 stomps, and I happened to break apart right at the start of the first stomp. It would completely cancel that attack, so Gnasher wouldn't do those other 4 stomps, which would be a massive time save. So that's kind of why part breaks are really important, even though sometimes it seems like the animation from the part break doesn't last a while. Like it seems like the part break just stops the within a second. You can still use it to cancel an attack that lasts really long, which is why it's very useful. Well, I wouldn't say casually. Like, you can see I've been playing this for 50 minutes straight right now. I don't imagine you were fighting that level 14 Gnasher for 15 minutes straight. Practice makes a massive difference in this game, it really does. Shit. I'm not doing a good job of showing it though. Okay, I'm gonna reset this one. Yeah, I'm still really not good on the interrupt with Act. But yeah, that's kind of the main reason I've played this game so much really, is that there's not really like a skill ceiling in this game, I want to say, or like a progression wall. Like, no matter how much you play this game, you'll always feel like you're getting noticeably better. That's what I've found. I've spent an amount of time on this game that I should really feel more shame about admitting. But I don't think even like a single week has passed by where I didn't learn like at least something new. This game just really has a lot of depth. There's such a massive amount of area to improve, really, which I find really exciting. Like, especially when I was new, it was more noticeable. Like, the first time you fight a behemoth, and even just the 10th time you fight a behemoth, like even if you just fight a behemoth for an hour, it's a massive difference how much you understand it. And then a couple more. I mean, studying also does a lot too. Like, studying speedruns is how I learned the game. I don't know if I would recommend it, because I don't think that's how most people learn the game, but for me personally, I found that exciting, and I found it really useful to watch speedruns. And really, like, the most important thing, as I mentioned, is to look at where someone is positioned related to the behemoth and how the behemoth reacts to where you're standing. That's the most important thing in the game. Because, you know, as I said, some attacks will give you like time in between them to do like a full massive damage combo, and other attacks might just barely give you enough time to do like one tiny hit. So like, the name of the game is really damage uptime. How can you get the behemoth to be as, you know, peaceful as possible? To get the behemoth to be as, you know, docile, not aggressive. To get the behemoth to give you the most opportunities to attack. That's really the name of the game. Okay, I'm starting to finally get the hang of that boop now. Oh, that's a shame I missed that. Holy shit. I managed to get hit by that twice. Man, that was a really good half, but I really messed it up. This should be boop here, but there's not really much I can do about it. It's a shame. I didn't expect to break that, so I didn't continue the combo. Oh, white damage there. That's really bad. I really shouldn't play this out, but he's quarter, so. It's pretty crazy. Oh. It's really satisfying having the stagger on death. And I think it's pretty crazy how much of a difference the potions really make. Like, you see when I have potions, my final axe hits for almost 12,000. And when I don't have them, it only hits for 7,000. I mean, it makes sense. As I mentioned earlier, the damage potion, when you have that axe mod, is 35%. And when the behemoth's in a rage, it's double. It's actually, I think it's 35.75%. So it's 71.5% in enrage, which is such a massive damage increase. Especially because of how little damage I actually have in this build, so. That one potion accounts for such a massive portion of my damage output. We go next though. And then Blitz Tonic too is pretty absurd. I've never actually, well, I've thought to, but I never actually went through with calculating like exactly how much of a overall damage increase potions are. I think potions, like, despite being, I think everyone knows they're strong, but I think people like still manage to somehow underrate it. I see a lot of people like ask for trials help and they go into trials and they don't use potions in there, and it's like, this is like basically like the final boss of the game. So like, if they're not using their potions for this, what are they saving them for? And I don't think they're saving them for anything. I think they just actually don't understand how good potions are. I don't really know how that did white damage. Pretty mad about that. Madder about that though, for sure. That's a shame. I think every run I've actually managed to successfully hit the interrupt in was like in a terrible run. Also a really bad time to stagger. Man. Yeah, I'm just gonna I wanted to reset that, but I didn't mean to break that. I think I might change the strategy a bit. I might try to focus leg first. Gnasher's head is really tanky. If I can manage to focus on leg first, like, I'll be able to get my first break earlier, and I might be able to time it to cancel the stomps, as I was mentioning earlier, which is a really helpful thing. But I haven't managed to do it once this session. It's kind of rare to get it actually to work out like that. Especially Axum this week, you usually only get both your part breaks at the very end. But the second one usually does nothing for you. It's just for the time bonus, and because you can. The other factor determining part focus is like, so after you get a stagger or after a behemoth enrages, there's a massive stagger shield, which is a temporary like heavily increase to the defense of the stagger health or whatever. I don't actually know what it is, but basically the behemoth becomes drastically harder to stagger after a stagger or after an enrage. So like, when it's in that stagger shield state, focusing whether you focus the head and deal full stagger damage or the leg and deal half isn't actually going to influence how fast your next staggers, because you're not putting a dent in it at all for like the first, like, this is a very, stagger shields depend a lot on the game mode too, but in Trials, let's say like the first like 10 seconds just almost don't matter at all. So at that point, you have a lot more reason to swap parts, because there's just no bonus to focusing head the whole time. Okay, I remember how to do it now. Yep. Awesome crit. Ooh, that was actually really good. What the fuck? That was actually the best start I had, and I completely fucked it. I kind of want to blame that on Axe's hitbox, but I should have known. I mean, the game also could have not been bad, to be fair. It's quite hard to do the Dauntless Trial. Yeah, Gnasher is a really hard one. There's a lot of easier ones than this, I assure you. That's any consolation. Oh, that's actually my fastest run. I got a new best for Axe. Or I tied it anyway. But yeah, Gnasher's a really difficult Dauntless Trial. And the reason why, you might have noticed there's a modifier on this trial called Fury. And what Fury does is it makes so that once the behemoth is in enrage, there's a massive amount of damage reduction. It becomes a lot harder to kill. And it also deals more damage to you too. So the thing with Gnasher is like, it's possible to kill it before enrage, but it's extremely difficult. It requires perfect play and a lot of luck. And it's basically, if you can manage to kill it enraged, before enrage, you can kill it like twice as fast than if you have to kill it like just slightly after enrage. Because the enrage just slows down the run such a massive amount. It's like if the behemoth just manages to get to enrage, the fight gets twice as hard and twice as long. Like, Gnasher can be like 5% HP when it enrages, and it's still gonna take like an extra minute to finish it off. The attacks it does in enrage, of course, are also much harder to deal with and much harder to control or predict. Are you just trying to practice, or do you just want the rewards from it? Because if you don't care and you just want the rewards, I do carries. I don't mind at all. Like, I can help you with it right now if you'd like. I like teaching people the game, but if you just want to get it over with, I'm completely free to help. Oh. You also don't actually have to play it either. You get full rewards in trials even if you're AFK in the spawn, which is usually what I recommend because it just makes it a lot easier for me to control the behemoth, honestly. Oh, I think I really messed up that Revenant. Damn. Yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to get used to that boop. Okay, I can't believe I managed to catch that. That was such an unlucky spawn for the axe. Spawn on the other side of the behemoth. Shit. I always push that damage opening because the last hit of Axe's combo deals such a massive amount of damage. If you can, it's kind of always worth the risk to try for it. Oh, I shouldn't say worth the risk because I usually don't get it actually. But this sounds stupid to say, but if you get it, it's worth it. Which makes no sense. Like obviously, you know, if you get something, it's worth it, you know. That was a really nice break, actually. This is a really lucky sequence. It's a shame it happened in a run where I made so many mistakes. He's gonna slam right here. Yeah. That's a really sad. That was a nice end. Okay, what did I miss? It's like, it's both, to be honest, I want the rewards and I want to understand the weapons. I mean, for what it's worth, like, the behemoths and trials are like almost double as hard as they are in literally every part of the game where progression actually matters. Like, the expectation is not to be able to solo trials. Most endgame players still get their ass kicked by trials. Like, I was very far into completing like the whole campaign and having maxed gear before I was able to solo trials. So like, if you like feel bad about not being able to do it, like don't fault yourself at all. Oh. So if you wanna take me up on the carry offer, just let me know your Epic Games name and I'll add you. It's no problem. For what it's worth, next week's trial is one of the easiest ones. This one is technically the tankiest, I guess. And next week is the one that actually has the lowest health out of all the trial monsters. Alright, I'll add you right after this one. Next week is Scraves. Okay, that's perfect. I have to reset this run anyway because I made a mistake. I jumped at the wrong time. Okay. Mimo 818S coming right up. Alright, there you are. Okay, Epic Friend Request should be sent now. Check, see if you got it. There's a thing with the... Yeah, you can join right after this. Tell me your Epic username too. I always do trials, assistants, and duos, and like it's easier to do 2 duos than it is to do 1 trio. And the reason why is trials is the highest health scaling in the game per player. Every time another player is added to your party, the behemoth's health increases by 75%. And there's a lot of damage thresholds that change dramatically. Like, can't do Epic. You don't have an Epic Games account? Yeah, if you're PlayStation, it still works. Sorry. Add me on PlayStation, I guess. But anyway, so like, if the behemoth is 75% more health, you know, some things like the more the merrier. Yeah, something like that. Oh, like I wouldn't be able to spell it. Okay, I understand. Okay. Moran, look and see if you see me in your friends list. If you see me, send me an invite. The new the friend system they added like a month or 2 ago is still kind of funky, and usually when I add people, I can't see them on my friends list until I restart the game. And the thing is, I can't restart the game because it will end stream. Okay, thank you. Okay, make sure to queue for private hunt, by the way, so it's not with randoms. That works too. Yeah, so if you want to stay on the platform, it guarantees, well, it just like it guarantees that, you know, you won't die, and if anyone in the party dies, even if they're revived, the rewards are reduced from trials, so that's usually why I still do that. And as I mentioned, it's also just a lot easier for me to control the behemoth when I'm alone. Because, you know, that how the behemoth AI works is it kind of just randomly locks onto one player. Like, it doesn't matter who's closer, who's attacking the behemoth, who's not. Like, if you're in the arena at all, sometimes the behemoth might just lock onto you. And which attacks the behemoth does, like the behavior, depends on who he's locked onto. So if I can guarantee the behemoth's locked onto me, I can make sure it does all the good attacks, which just makes it a lot faster. I think you actually get the XP too, even if you don't enter the arena, which is really strange. Because I think in most game modes it's not like that. You have to like attack the behemoth to get XP, but not in trials. You can completely AFK. Another funny thing, you can actually get full rewards from Trials even if you don't have the game mode unlocked, which is really strange. But nice to know. Okay, I'm gonna jump at 52. There we go. This should give me the boop. I meant to dodge that. Alright, I appreciate it, thank you. I'm pretty peeved that hit me, not gonna lie. Okay, I'm out of Landbreaker here, so I have to do a combo to recharge it. My ammo. To upgrade it. Like this. Now I have to drain my stamina for Invigorated. I didn't realize I didn't actually pick it up. This should break the leg. Yep. It should die right here. Nope. Okay. It's a bit off. Hopefully here. Okay, I was off by a bit, but yep, there we go. So that's what Tempest looks like with 175% behemoth health. Funny Omni Cell. Alright, and now I will add you. See the PlayStation friend request. Give me a moment. Hopefully it doesn't crash my stream to open friend requests again. That's what happened last time. PlayStation moment. Just a moment. Alright, see you. Okay, friend request accepted. Oh. Getting in right now? Alright, good. Oh. Why is my Pangar not moving? That's not good. Is my game frozen? Can barely handle regular trials. Well, all I can say is you'll get used to it over time. I mean, that's not really fair to say because not everyone does. Oh wow, the game did crash. That's awesome.